Hello, it's Melanie Milletics here to share with you something that may not at all be intuitive to you, though it's highly intuitive to me. See, I was in sales and marketing for 17 years. Before that, I was a doula. I have been, you could have called me a yogini since I was about 16 years old. And I have been an avid student of the study of the mind since I was very, very young, and for reasons that I may share sometime in the future, not quite today. And because I have a absolute passion for helping people who have an entrepreneurial drive to really do the work that they were put on the planet to do, I have always been one to work to help somebody to overcome their self-limiting beliefs. And some of you watching this may have worked with me sometime over the past, and you know that's true. So it may not have been a real surprise to you that I became a rapid transformational hypnotherapist. And I just want to share with you why I did and what it means to you. Because I did it for you. I did it for the entrepreneur who is overworked, who is sacrificing their sleep, their health, their family, their friendships for the sake of what the world sees as success. I did it to help you because this has helped me. And a bit of my story is really crucial to tell, because most people would have no idea that this is exactly what happened to me. See, I was living under a lie. I was living under a lie that the money was scarce, and there was a spirit of scarcity and competition. And I worked myself really, really hard. I became a miserable millionaire. And then I was angry with myself for being miserable when I had all that money, which was what I was going after. And before you get on some, oh, well, of course, I would never sacrifice my family for whatever you want to say, just know that there is a lie that you're living under. And whatever it has done to you, it may not have you running to work yourself till you were, work yourself to death, as it almost did me, but it's affecting you in some way, or you wouldn't still be watching. I have people come to me now as a rapid transformational hypnotherapist because they feel they have anxiety around their financial situation. And I'm here to tell you that it really almost never has anything to do with a financial situation. Like me, I find as I go in and play detective and help these people to get over this pain, I find that there was something that's been buried in their subconscious since they were very, very small. Something that caused them to have a limiting belief about themselves and their place in this world. And it caused them to have habits and to have a perspective of the world that has harmed them in some profound way. And for me, it was completely counterintuitive. And as it is, when I go in and I help somebody, it usually is not anything they would have ever thought. In fact, I don't ever pretend to know what somebody's issue is before we go in, because hypnosis reveals some pretty amazing things. So for me, I feel it is important, I will share. I was carrying this weight of fear in my body. I call it a weight of fear, but it really felt like it was actually taking my stress levels up right up to about underneath my chin. And I didn't even realize that I was living with this stress level up to my chin that would essentially, when anything went a little bit off in my life, would take me up and over the top until it resulted in a serious illness that took me out. Essentially, my illness mimicked anxiety in a very real way. My heart was racing through the roof. I ended up in the hospital a couple of times. I had insomnia. I couldn't sleep. I was angry. I was so angry. I was angry at everyone and everything. And this is all because of this stress that I held in my body. And I want you to just hear me and understand that there is trauma that is held in your body. If there was any trauma in your youth, and most people have some kind of trauma, it's held in your body. And you may, as a rational thinking adult, think that, oh, I got over that. I'm here to tell you, you really didn't. Okay? We are incredibly resilient creatures. And what our mind does is it puts the trauma behind a wall, and it allows us to be resilient and to walk around as if it's normal. In fact, many of you may have walked around in your childhood world and when you were growing up as if everything was normal, as completely screwed up as it was. That became normal for you. And that's just your amazing mind and body's way of surviving in this world. So you may have lived a life of somewhat, look normal from the outside, and then you go and you are an entrepreneur. So you have this entrepreneurial drive and you're excited and you have this, fire in your heart. You're enthusiastic. You can imagine how you're going to change the world, help others. And at the same time, you're like, oh, this is exactly the thing that's going to help me to, break free. I'll have all the time in the world to spend with my family, friends, etc. And then you get into this thing and you're going at it from this false understanding of the world and how the world works. And you go with the lie that the world essentially presents to us, which is that you've got to grind, right? You've got to work really, really hard. You probably have some of these limiting beliefs around money. Money's hard to get, hard to come by. It's for somebody else. If I get it, it just slips through my hands anyway. If I get it, then somebody else is going to want it from me. So all of these self-limiting beliefs, and those are kind of programmed in from our families. That's part of it. But the part that exasperates this is those of us who have lived through tough things, right? When that trauma is stored in our body, it is like me, my stress level is up to here. So here I am doing this entrepreneurial thing, doing it all wrong because I didn't understand money flow. I didn't understand how the universe worked, really. Well, I did in an intuitive way, but I wasn't listening to myself. Let's just put it that way. And you're going at it this way, and you get to a point where you just feel as if you could literally die under the stress. And I don't know if any of you who are watching right now know anything about what I'm talking about, but if you do, I just appreciate a little, yeah, I get it. I understand what you mean. I understand that I'm like walking around pretending like everything's fine, but I really feel ashamed. I feel guilty. I feel a sense of anguish. I don't at all feel like that enthusiastic, excited entrepreneur that I was when I got started. If you just be honest enough, most of us are not honest enough to admit that. But the people that come to me to work through this, who are actually honest enough to say, okay, this is not me. The real me is that enthusiastic one, the one that's excited for life, that wants to go and do more, be more, have more, right? And that's the real you. But there's this self-sabotaging, habits. There's the procrastinator. There's all these things they don't feel like you, but they sure are your habits, right? And so the people that come to me, they typically come because they're under financial stress. They're like, yep, that's me. I'm totally educated. I've got all the skills. I've invested in myself. I can wear the t-shirt, right? But they don't have the money after years and years and years because of the procrastination and self-sabotage. So they come to me because they think it's a money problem. Yep. And you know what? I am incredibly skilled. I'm gifted. I'm intuitive when it comes to going into clear money blocks. But as I was saying, it's almost never a money block. Well, it's a money block, but it almost never has anything really to do with money. a lot of people do have horrible memories of their parents fighting over money. So what does money then mean? Oh, it's scary, and it's, it could even be violent in some cases, right? And it's something that you should be angry about. Now, how the heck is anything you should be angry about going to be something that's going to come to you at will? Not happening. But my point is, people are very surprised when we go in and we actually find that it has something to do with something that happened to them when they were very, very young, when they were in hypnosis. See, our mind, our brain waves are in hypnosis from 0 to 7 or somewhere around there. So in that time, you're literally hypnotized. So you're hypnotized, your programs are being laid down, and whatever happens to you to cause a strong emotional reaction in your body, and then to look around at the world and see what's going on and say, oh, that's what's going on. It will cause you to have a belief about yourself and your place in the world, and it may not serve you. It may actually, as an adult, a beautiful, incredibly intelligent, I mean, my clients are genius entrepreneurs, right? And this thing that happened to them when we were very young is still messing them up. So we go in, we find it, we get rid of it, and then they're free. And, it's beautiful. As you may find, like, that the very next day, actually, I've had a client who said to me immediately, I feel like an adult for the first time in my life. I had another tell me that the next morning they woke up enthusiastic and with that sense of fire about their business again, and they have been on track ever since. The stories just keep coming in like this. But ultimately, it's about the power of releasing yourself from something that really has no relevance today. And when I learned that I could help you, the entrepreneur, to do this with this therapy that I could learn and bring back and help you with, I knew that it's exactly what I was supposed to do. See, I've been taken out of my career. Was sick, right? I'm very well now, thank you very much. But I was taken out, and it gave me just enough time to be out of the game so that I could forget who I was, so I could be who I am. And who I am is somebody who's here and ready and able to help you, to break free, to be done with this stuff for once and for all. You have spent years, if you're anything like me, you spent years and years and years in this loop, in this struggle, and you're not feeling good about it. This business thing isn't producing as it should, and there's really no good reason, except that there's probably something in there that we can easily go in and get rid of. You probably think, as a lot do, that there's some kind of, special brand of screwed up. I know I certainly thought I was a special brand of screwed up. Turns out I'm not such a special brand of screwed up, and neither are you. In fact, I'm pretty confident that we can help you with whatever it is that's going on. And knowing that really there's nothing for you to be ashamed of, nothing for you to hold on to any longer. There's no reason for you to feel guilt and shame. It's time for you to actually apply everything you've ever learned, like all of this education that you've got under your belt, all of the conferences that you've traveled to, all of the everything. It's time for you to have that big aha, consolidate and fly. And that's what I'm here to do. That's my grandest vision. That's my purpose. And my purpose really is to help you to make your waves in the world. So if you feel that you've been struggling and you're done, then let's have a conversation. Let's find out how Rapid Transformational Therapy with me and the money flow breakthrough can help you to fly, now. It could be that by tomorrow you wake up free, enthusiastic, ready to rock and roll, no longer with the guilt and shame of years of a failed business to look at and wonder what's wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. You're perfect and everything is available to you. You're enough. You've always been enough. And I'm going to help you to see that very clearly. So if you want to have a chat, do inbox me. We'll set up a time to talk and I will help you to absolutely realize your dreams. I'll see you later.